Hey everybody, this is Watkins, the Daily Meditator, coming to you from my teaching center here in Venice, California. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about seating positions in meditation. Oftentimes I get asked, how do I sit in meditation? What's the best way to sit? And if you Google meditation, pretty much everybody you're going to see is sitting cross-legged, and they have their fingers together and back straight, and they may be on a cushion or something like that. And that's all well and good, but what I recommend people doing is to sit in a way that's comfortable for you. I say sit in the same way that you would sit if you were watching television. So you want to have obviously your back supported. You have your legs. You can put your legs up on something if you want to, and just get comfortable. Now the science behind that is that if you are sitting in a way that's comfortable, then you put yourself in the best position for your mind to relax. Because if you're not comfortable, then your mind is not going to be able to de-excite and experience the state of consciousness that it needs to get to in order to have a deeper experience in the meditation. And I'll give you an example. Let's say that someone told you, okay, to go and stand up against a wall and lean up against the wall. And while you're leaning up against the wall, try to go to sleep. Okay? Now, that's just a thought experiment. Obviously, you're not going to be able to sleep while leaning up against the wall. Okay? But what's going to happen is that you may be able to get into a slightly more rested state than you would if you were standing on both legs, but you will not get to the sleeping state. And then ultimately what's going to happen is after a certain amount of time your knees are going to buckle, you're going to collapse onto the floor, which means you'll be lying horizontally, and then you'll probably fall asleep. Now why does that happen? Because lying horizontally is the better position for sleeping. Okay? So what we've come to realize as humans in the last thousands of years is that the best position for getting into a deep state of meditation is to be comfortable. So I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, what about these Indian guys who are sitting around with their legs crossed and the back straight? Well, have you been to India before? Okay? If you go to India and you walk around in the towns, what you see is everybody squatting over. They're having conversations in the squatting position. People aren't sitting around like we do in chairs and at desks. I mean, obviously in some of the urban areas you have a lot of that, but the majority of the country, and especially the places where meditation came from, up in the north and all that, these guys weren't engaged in the same kinds of Western types of lifestyle and behaviors that we've been engaged in, that have caused us to have very stiff legs and stiff backs. So for those guys, sitting with their legs crossed is actually not an uncomfortable position like it is for us. And so their bodies are conditioned in such a way that allows their mind to still de-excite. Whereas when we try to emulate that by sitting in those same positions, all we can think about for the whole meditation is how long is this going to last? My back is hurting, my elbows, my ankles, the whole body is in searing pain. And if your body is physically uncomfortable, guess what's going to happen to your mind? It's going to keep your mind excited. And as your mind is excited, it's going to keep you constrained to the waking state of awareness. And it's that waking state of awareness that can cause 5 minutes in meditation to feel like an hour. Okay? When you can slip beyond that waking state of awareness and you can get into deeper states of awareness, that's when you have the time-lapse experience, where more time goes by than what you can account for. That's not going to happen if you're uncomfortable. Okay? So you have to sit in a way that feels comfortable to you. So yes, use a pillow for your back. Put blankets over your body to stay cozy. Forget about hand gestures and mudras and other kinds of configurations with your hands and your feet. You can get to that another day. Once you get in the ritual of meditation. Once you build up some consistency and forge the habit of meditation, then by all means go out and start exploring more advanced techniques. But just to get started, don't worry about all that, because all that's going to do is cause the time to slow down, which is going to discourage you from making the time to meditate, because you're going to figure, oh, meditation is not working, I'm sitting here all this time, nothing's happening, blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't have to be that way. Just start with 5 or 10 minutes a day, sit comfortably, be comfortable, be cozy, and do your meditations in that position. And do that for a while. When I'm talking a while, I'm talking, do that for 2-3 years. And that can be your meditation, Just do that. Even if you weren't technically meditating, if you just sat down comfortably for once or twice a day for 5 or 10 minutes, you would get some benefit from that. But the fact that you're sitting there and you're following your technique, whatever it happens to be, where you're following your breathing or you're saying a word, oneness or love or whatever to yourself, that's all going to create a consciousness experience inside that's going to add even more benefit to the entire meditation experience. So sit comfortably in your meditations. If you already have a practice where you're doing other things, you're sitting, in the middle of the floor and all that, and you're being consistent at it, then keep up with that. But just know that it's not necessary. It's not absolutely necessary. In the style of meditation that I train people in, I always tell them, the first day, sit comfortably. And what I found in my own experiences and in the experiences of my students is that when they are comfortable, they have the deepest experiences. No one has deeper experiences by sitting in a way that's uncomfortable, by having the lean against the door approach to meditation. It doesn't work. It doesn't work as well. So take that, check the website for more tips, beginmeditating.com, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care.